This year in Formula 1, on the papaya nose of a McLaren sits the most iconic number in motorsport, the number 1, and it's being raced by Lando Norris. Now normally Lando races with the number 4 on his car, that's his identity, that's his brand, but when you win the Formula 1 World Championship, you earn the right to race with the number 1, and that is what Lando has chosen to do this year. But to truly understand why the number 1 is so special and important to the sport, we have to rewind a bit. Now, up until 2013, drivers didn't actually get to choose what number they raced with. It was assigned to them based on where their team finished in the previous season's Constructors' Championship. The reigning Drivers' World Champion would be assigned the number 1, and his teammate would get the number 2. The rest of the grid was allocated in descending order based on the team standing. So if your team was in second place, your drivers would be 3 and 4. If your team was in third place, your drivers would be 5 and 6, and so on. Now, there were a few exceptions to this rule throughout Formula 1 history. Ferrari raced with the numbers 27 and 28 for a few years in the 80s and 90s, but generally that is how the numbers were assigned before 2014. So the drivers didn't own a number, it wasn't personal to them, it wasn't their identity, it was purely position based, which made the number 1 even more powerful because you could only get that if you won the Drivers' World Championship. And then in 2014, Formula 1 made a big rule change. They said that the drivers could choose a number between 2 and 99 that would stick with them for their entire Formula 1 career. The idea behind it was branding. The sport was becoming more digital, more social, more personality driven, and F1 wanted fans to be able to associate a driver with their number, just like you do in football. That's why Lewis Hamilton was 44, Max Verstappen used to be 33, and up until this year, Lando was number 4. But the rules clearly stated that if you became the new Drivers' World Champion, the next season you could choose to change your number to the number 1. And unlike before 2014, the drivers didn't have to take the number 1 if they won the World Championship. For years they didn't. The number only came back onto the grid a few years ago when Max Verstappen won the World Championship. So before permanent numbers came in, the number 1 defined eras. Think Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, Sebastian Vettel. When you saw that number 1 on their car, you knew exactly who they were. And you knew that that driver was the world champion of the sport at that time. So that's why the number 1 is so special. It isn't permanent. It's only given to those who win the World Championship. And the thing that makes it even more special is that some drivers choose not to take it, so it's not always on the grid. And this could be for a number of reasons. It is a badge of honor, but it's also a target. It tells everyone else on the grid that you are the one to aim for. Every other driver on the grid wants to take that number away from you, and that's exactly what Lando Norris will be feeling this season. By choosing to take the number, he's saying he's not just here to race, he is here to win another Drivers' Championship. So there are lots of numbers in Formula 1, but none is as important as the number 1. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to The Benchmark for even more F1 content.